Good morning, I'm meteorologist Bo Dotson. It's August 13th, 2016. We've got a lot of weather to talk about. Let's get right to it. We take a look at satellite view this Saturday morning. We see the tropical like system over Louisiana still into parts of southeast Texas. We see a cold front that extends from near Chicago, Illinois, back into Oklahoma. You see this dying area of showers and thunderstorms along the cold front. What will happen today is this cold front will move closer to our region very slowly. It's not moving fast, but it will drift into our area, and then it will start to tap into all of this Gulf of Mexico moisture as it moves to the north and northeast, and that spells quite a bit of rain for our local region. Now, one thing to remember today, I've been wrestling with the forecast for northwest Tennessee and western Kentucky. It's possible that most of the rain stays in Missouri and Illinois today, and that western Kentucky into western Tennessee may not see all that much shower and thunderstorm activity. That's sort of a question mark. I put the chances at around 50% from Owensboro to LBL and a little higher than that west of there, but I have 70 and 80% rain chances for Missouri and Illinois. So keep that in mind. Also, keep in mind that this is a multi day event. Of course, all your rain's not going to fall at once. We're going to have on and off shower and thunderstorms from today into Sunday, into Monday, into Tuesday, and may even linger into Wednesday over parts of the area. We'll see just how fast that front exits our region. But keep this in mind: there will be periods of time where it's not raining. There may be extended periods of time where it's not raining, and that the where the heaviest band's set up, it may actually rain there fairly constant for the next few days, and that should be somewhere from northern Arkansas, perhaps into southern Illinois, and then into Indiana. There's some question mark still about how far south and east this front will settle, and so that leaves Kentucky and Tennessee in more of a questionable area on rainfall totals. Confidence is higher as you move out here to Arkansas and then Missouri and Illinois for these big totals. One thing also to keep in mind is oftentimes the models, they will push the precip shield too far north and west. I've noticed the Weather Service and some others talking about this as well. I have seen where these events set up southeast of where the models are showing, and I have mentioned that possibility in all of my discussions and on Facebook, Twitter, and the blog. So keep that in mind. Nothing is set in stone when it comes to just how much rain is going to fall over the next few days. Let me show you a couple of models this morning, and this is a short range model. I like it. It's the HER model, and what it does is it only goes out to about 18 hours, but it does show you where shower and thunderstorm activity might develop today. So I'll stop it here at 7 and 8 in the morning. You see how this band is trying to form from northern Arkansas into southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, into central Indiana. You see not much going on in Kentucky and Tennessee. This is where we think that the band of rain will set up today. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see how far south and east it drifts. But that being the case, it could be again mean that parts of Kentucky and Tennessee don't see all that much rain today. Not a sure bet, but it is a possibility. We move into this afternoon. There's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and you're looking at futurecast radar here. So this is what radar might look like later today. We move into the evening hours, and again, you see how most of the rain is back here over Missouri and Illinois, with scattered showers and thunderstorms over western Kentucky. But we're going to have to keep an eye on that, on just how far south and east the rain falls today. We stop it here this evening. This is about 9 p.m., and you can see most of the rain still from Arkansas to Missouri and Illinois. And that is why the models are showing these very large totals over this part of our region, is that the rain just keeps forming and training over the same areas. And then the models are spitting out lesser totals as you go to the south and east. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. It is a question mark today about what happens in Kentucky and Tennessee. Now, as we move into Saturday night and Sunday, this rain shield will start to shift a little more further to the east, so the entire region will have better chances of showers and storms over the coming days. Let's take a look at one more model here. This is also the HER, but it's a different run of that particular model. And you can see, let's see, I'll stop here at 7 a.m. You can see showers and thunderstorms a little further east on this model into extreme southern Illinois and southeast Missouri. And some of these storms are heavy, and if they train over the same areas, then they will produce heavy rain. Now, This is a model, it's not going to be exact, but you just get the general idea of how showers and thunderstorms might develop as we move through the day. Keep moving through here about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So you see again that this model is showing most of the rain to covering parts of Missouri and Illinois, and then scattered showers and thunderstorms over Kentucky and Tennessee. Now, speaking of rainfall totals, let's just take a look at a couple of weatherbell.com graphics here. Now, this is the NAM model. There's a bunch of models we can use to forecast, and usually we blend them to come up with the right solution. Not one given model is usually right or wrong. It's just you have to use a mixture of them and see what's actually going on satellite and radar. But as we move through today, I want you to notice how the NAM guidance develops showers and thunderstorms. You see it agrees with the herd that most of the rain will be over Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. And it just sort of sets there with then scattered activity further south and east. We'll move into Sunday morning. Keep going here. This is around 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. Now NAM is trying to push the guidance further to the north and west. Again, remember I mentioned that models sometimes do that and they're not always correct. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. There was some discussion about keeping Sunday mostly dry over parts of our area, and not saying that's impossible. We'll just have to see how far south and east the cold front ends up. Most of the rain will be along the front and north of the front, okay? So keep that in mind. If the front were to stall out over the Ohio River, most of your heavy rain would be right on the Ohio River and then north of the front. South and east of the front, the coverage would not be as great. So as we move into tomorrow, we move into the afternoon hours, you see this larger chunk of shower and thunderstorm activity coming out of Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana, and it's moving to the north along that front. Move through the afternoon, has widespread showers and thunderstorms in our area. Some of those will be on the heavy side. We move into Sunday night. We move into Monday morning. Just keep going here. So we'll stop right there. We'll go into Monday morning. You see widespread showers and thunderstorms over the Ohio Valley and parts of our region. Again, it won't rain all the time, but when it rains, it could be quite heavy. We look at precipitative water values, and I talk about this quite often during the summer months. This is how much moisture is in the entire atmosphere, and what I want you to take from this is this maroon, red, and purple area. These are very high precipitative water values. It is going to be near record high, if not record high, precipitative water values for this time of the year. That's just a lot of moisture, and you can see where it's coming from. It's coming from the Gulf of Mexico, spreading north and east in our area, and it just sort of sits over our area as we move through the week. And those very high precipitative water value numbers, are what will help at least aid in the development of heavy rain. The higher the numbers, the heavier rain potential usually ends up being. As we move through Sunday night and Monday, you just see it just sits there over our region, just a plume of moisture coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico. Plenty of moisture for thunderstorms to tap into, and that is one reason we have flash flood watches covering much of the region, and more counties may have to be added with time. Let's see at the NAM accumulation when we start to talk about how much it will rain. And let's stop it here on Sunday morning around 7 a.m. Notice how it has that heavy band over Arkansas, Missouri, and Illinois, but not much over Kentucky and Tennessee. Again, this is questionable about how much rain will fall today and tonight over Tennessee and Kentucky. It is possible that the heaviest rains fall a little bit to the north and west of the Mississippi River here and Ohio River along the Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana border. We'll just keep an eye on it. It could develop a little further southeast there. It could end up being southeast Missouri and Illinois. Most of the guidance says southeast Missouri and Illinois, so we'll keep that in mind, and we'll keep an eye on it and see where the rain develops on radar today. You can view the radars at weatherobservatory.com, then click the radar button. So we'll move through here, and we'll just keep going into Sunday night and Monday morning. We'll stop right there. On Monday morning, you see heavy totals over much of Missouri, southern Illinois into central Illinois, central and southern Indiana. These dark red colors are 2 to 3 inches of rain. Now, my forecast has been and continues to be a widespread 1 to 3 inches of rain over the coming days, and then there'll be bands and pockets of 3 to 6 inches And then on top of that, you're probably going to see some isolated spots receive more than 6 inches of rain. Hopefully it'll be isolated. Some of the data shows widespread 6 inch rainfall totals, but I suspect most of us will end up with 1 to 3 inches of rain over the coming days, and then bands of 3 to 6 embedded in there. Now, this will be enough to cause flash flooding. Another concern I have is that maybe on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we end up having stronger thunderstorms develop, and if that happens, they could produce 2 to 4 inches of rain per hour. And that is when we start to think about more serious flash flooding. A prolonged period of rain, you're going to have flooding, but you might not have the flash flooding to be as great. If we end up getting thunderstorms with this, and you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 inches of rain per hour, that's when you start having concerns about areas that only flood during flash floods when rain falls at a certain rate. And you get into flooding in metropolitan areas, especially like Paducah, Marion, Carbondale, other areas as well. We take a look real quick at the National Weather Service Flash Flood Watch. Now, this has been expanded now into the Missouri Boot Hill. Yesterday it did not include them. Now it does. They have still left out northwest Tennessee and parts of western Kentucky. And one reason they left them out is what I've been telling you for a while now, is that there's some question mark about coverage of rain over northwest Tennessee and western Kentucky, parts of west Kentucky, especially early on in this event. Now, with time, it wouldn't surprise me if more counties are added to this watch. The watch is through today, tomorrow, into Monday. May need to be extended even further, but for now, this is the flash flood watch. Covers a good chunk of the region. You can see, especially along the Ohio River in west Kentucky, and then all of Southern Illinois, all of southeast Missouri, and then also parts of Arkansas, Indiana, and Ohio. That's about it. We'll just see how this unfolds. There are still some question marks about where the cold front stalls out and where the heaviest rain bands will be. But between now and Tuesday, most of us should see 1 to 3 inches of rain. Expect pockets of 3 to 6 inches, and then there will be some areas that pick up more than 6 inches of rain. So avoid flooded roadways, of course. Don't drive into floodwaters. That's how a lot of people usually die each year, driving into floodwaters. If you're driving at night and you're not sure if the road is flooded, then slow it down, change your route, or perhaps don't travel at all. I suspect this will be a problem for several days in our region, some flooded roadways and other issues as well. All right, the severe weather threat, several people have asked me this. The severe weather threat appears minimal with this event. I can't rule out a few reports of damaging winds or downburst winds, but overall, this is more of a heavy rain event than it is a severe thunderstorm outbreak event, so keep that in mind as well. All right, I hope you have a nice weekend, rain or shine.